I don't know if any member of the All Blacks team will ever see this. My name is Nikki, and I'm from South Africa. And usually, I am not a sports fan at all, or a rugby fan, because I've always thought of sports as the sort of burly, hairy thing, right? I'm more of an artsy girl. So I've only watched two rugby matches in my entire life. One of them was this last Rugby World Cup final in 2023. The other was the Rugby World Cup final in 1995. And which team was there along the side of my team? But New Zealand. For me right now, the excellence that you brought, the integrity that you brought, and the fight that your men brought to that field provided me a distraction and an outlet for the stress I have felt for a month over my cousin's murder. My cousin was going to be collateral damage in the political mess that right now is South Africa. And I don't want to get into too many details. Perhaps in the description, I'll put a link to the documentary I'm trying to make him. It's a lot of stress trying to make a documentary for your own cousin, but I want to preserve his story after the terrible things that were done to him. But thank you for playing such an excellent game that I couldn't concentrate on that, right? Because my team was looking at a team of titans. I was watching excellence, and you have given me so much reason to laugh, so much reason to feel, such an emotional outlet, purely by your excellence. So I'm making a video because I can't do a haka, but I hope you understand what I'm saying when I say during this game for me, you were the hairy man that brought the sun out. Or am I being repetitive? I don't know. When I was 9 years old and South Africa was only a 1-year-old nation, struggling to find its identity, struggling to figure out what forgiveness meant, and we were trying to do something, so we got behind a sport which was mostly associated with Afrikaners. Now, remember, we're the most racist country in the world, so as English speakers, for us getting behind Afrikaners, as people of color, for us getting behind Afrikaners, it was our way, through the rugby, it was our way of saying, hey, we're trying to be one nation, we're trying to let bygones be bygones, we're trying to build our nation, right? And who was there on that field at Ellis Park, just a couple of blocks away from me, at the first rugby match I ever met? I was even allowed champagne as a 9-year-old. It was New Zealand. And this is my cat, Gentry. Of course, she's interfering. But even before I was born, for many years, there were many ways that we protested South Africa and its political state, like just the horrid political state. And one of the ways we did that was by supporting sports teams other than our own. So in soccer, we supported Brazil. But in rugby, who do we support? Right? The All Blacks. And to this day, there are still many die-hard All Black fans in our country. Even with this last World Cup, right? Perhaps I'll put a link in the description so you can see what you meant. It's hard to say in words. But what you have taught me about excellence, what you've taught me about how a champion carries himself, like many of you, I was a girl that was sort of bullied or whatever as a little child. And, that gives you grit and drive and determination to be the best you can be in any field, and mine is in the arts. But recently, in the last few years, I faced quite a bit of jealousy. And I didn't know how to differentiate the hate of jealousy from the hate of bullying, right? I really didn't know how to file that in my mind. But the way that you've carried yourself, the way that you have never spoken a word against the Springboks or made any excuses, has shown me how a champion carries themselves in their own field and in the thing that they're good at. So thank you for the lesson in character. Thank you for the courage that you are modeling for me. And let us not forget, it was 1 point. You gave them a game. You gave them a fight. And I'm not going to lie, for many of us, as glorious as it was to win, there was this pang of pain. We didn't want to see the pain on the eyes of the New Zealanders. 14 men down, you fought like 40 men. Do you know what I'm saying? You never gave up to the last. But it's one Rugby World Cup. It's one. We are keeping the cup warm for you here in South Africa. There's another World Cup coming. Are you coming to get it? Oh, one more thing. Thank you for giving your nation's greatest honor to every nation you play with. Thank you for the haka. Thank you for what that means. I've been trying to understand it. I'm interested in learning about the Maori language. I'm interested in knowing more about your culture and learning more about your country. So come get that cup, boys. We'll see you next time on that field. Thank you so much.